My name is John and I'm at Paint School on Instagram. I've done over $15 million in paint jobs and I'm based out of Huntington Beach, California. Aaron is at Alpha Painting on Instagram. He's managed huge commercial projects with impossible timelines and now is a few years into building his own operation out of Branson, Missouri.
And you should probably check out our full process videos on YouTube because they're pretty badass.
Our point in doing this podcast is to put our 40 plus years of combined experience to the test. We've seen a decline in the industry, and while I think it's a bit arrogant to think we can change it, we're giving it a shot. Listen up and let us know what you think. This is Paint Sniffers Podcast.
All right, so we're back on now. Today we're going to get into marketing and, starting another location or a new location or starting your first location. I read all the time about people trying to figure out how to get work. How do I get more jobs? How do I build my company? So I think we'll take a pretty deep dive in on that today through a couple creative channels. But first, to kind of get caught up, I talked to you a couple days ago. We're in the market for a boat, for a lake boat this time. So we were doing a lot of boating a while back, but it was all mostly ocean boating. And since we got the place in Big Bear, we've got a lake up here that we can use. So the boat that we're looking at is like 2006. And it's a Sea Ray, so it's technically like we can take it in the ocean if we want. It's got a head in there, but it's an open bow, so we can't go out on like a rough day or anything like that. Otherwise, we'll fucking sink. But so we did an inspection yesterday, and everything seems to be fine. There are a couple odd things. One of the batteries is bad, and an exhaust impeller seems like it's bad. So for this kind of boat, we had to have a mechanical inspection as part of the purchasing agreement. So we put a deposit down. Then we have 10 days basically to have the mechanic out. He puts together an inspection report, and then depending on what that comes back as, we can continue the deal or stop. But with the impeller, he's like, it's a relatively easy fix, but it's in a bad spot on the engine, so it's going to be tough to get to. And then he said, and it's not, I won't know 100% until I get into it. It might be something else, which is like kind of the dreaded thing you don't really want to hear. It might be something else, because then once he digs into it, it's like, all right, well, you can't stop now. You just keep going. You bought a boat. Was it last year or the year before?
I think it was the year before or the beginning of last year. I think it was the year before, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you said you're into your second mechanic right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck with that shit. I think boat mechanics might even be more crooks than regular mechanics. I'm not sure. I don't have much experience with it, but I guess the positive thing is that if you have an inboard motor, we have an inboard outboard, so the motor's inboard and then the prop is outboard. So
same,
but it's like an old truck engine, you know what I mean? Like those Mer Cruisers and shit. So they're carbureted engines, so I mean it looks more familiar to me than a modern day truck engine. So I can change alternators and belts and do all that kind of shit without feeling completely foreign. But it's a fucking nightmare, in all honesty. Like, we got it. I think initially we got the boat, and then I think right off the there was like a leak, and right off the bat we had to have the seals replaced around the motor, which was like $3,000. And then after the seals were replaced, because the people that the mechanic we were using didn't do major work like that. He just does like maintenance and small stuff, changing the prop or tuning it up or getting it dialed in kind of shit, or alternator or whatever. But we had a shop that does like full engine replacements and stuff like that, do that. So, I mean, in order to replace the seals, you pretty much have to take the engine out and stuff.
Yeah.
And when they did that, they obviously left a bunch of gunk and bullshit in the motor compartment because we were at a parade and everyone was supposed to be at idle speed, and everyone kind of geared up to like, I don't know, fucking probably, 8 miles an hour or so.
Mm-hmm.
And it just created like a bunch of chop. And I had a bunch of people on the boat, and I had a big wake that came over the front of the boat,
Mm-hmm.
and we took on a shit ton of water. It killed the engine. I couldn't get it to restart because it caused the starter to go out. All that water in there, and then turns out that I didn't find this out till later, but the sub or the bilge pump wasn't working because the guys that replaced the seals just allowed a bunch of shit to get inside of it. So I barely made it into a cove and got out of the wash and stuff before we sunk or whatever, and lost power.
Shit.
And then it was like $700 to fucking have Cito come bilge the boat out and then tow us back to the dock. And now, like the previous mechanic, like I took it in, I think, to de-winterize it and have them check the bilge pump. And I ended up ordering a starter because the starter wasn't working, and then I replaced the starter myself. And then we went to go put it in the water thinking that it was going to be running, and it wouldn't even turn over. And I just, prior to that too, like he was he billed me like almost $500 and said he did a full tune up. And then um I got pissed off and asked him, I wanted receipts or proof of what he did, and he couldn't provide that. And he was like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know, it wasn't a tune up, I don't know what I did. And he said he didn't have his records, and he was lying about something. He was just
Yeah.
billing me, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I got pissed, and we started taking it to another place, but it has not been put in the water. I had the battery kept dying, and the boat was drawing power from somewhere, even with all the gauges off and the ignition off. So we had like a like a dead man switch put in it to where it just cuts all power to the battery off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, dude, I've been so busy I haven't even gotten a chance to put it in the water yet to see if these new guys are full of shit too. So
Yeah. That's fun.
yeah.
Well, up here we're gonna keep it in the water for the summer. So there's a couple marinas here where we can leave it on a slip. Um, but I don't know what the repairs are going to be. It's looking like we're probably going to buy it. It looks like everything is good enough. It's a nice boat. It's got a head on it, which is kind of cool. Um, yeah, I mean it's a nice setup. But
Yeah.
so we'll have to get it repaired down there, down the hill. I'll tow it up here, and then we'll put it in the water, and then just let it
Dude,
sit there all summer.
there's been, so like I'm on my second boat, and it's about every time between both boats that we've taken them out that something bad happens.
Yeah,
Like, oh hey, your water pump went out, and it's fucking throwing, one of the pulleys to the side and then burning your belt off, and you're just barely going to make it back to the dock. Or,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, or hey, it turns out you're taking on water and your bilge pump doesn't work. Or
yeah,
hey, your starter just went out. Or, you know what I mean? It's always fucking something, dude.
yeah. And that's
And I did
yeah, that's what
now
I've
I
heard.
Yeah, now I go out with like I take a paddle, I take a socket set and wrenches and fucking starter fluid, and there's all kinds of shit in my boat. So like I can just, hopefully get us
Yeah,
back to the dock or something. But that I haven't renewed my Ceto. Um I guess it's technically a subscription or whatever.
yeah,
Or what is it? Like it's like a
yeah. It was
membership or whatever. But yeah,
yeah,
don't go out on the lake if you plan on getting that shit, because you'll pay like, I think it's between like $400 and $700 to get towed in the first time, and then you're like, hey, you're magically a member now.
yeah,
But I think if you pay for it in advance, it's like $100 a year or something.
yeah. So that's most of the boating I've done has been on the ocean, and so we were originally looking at an ocean boat, um, which is like fucking way more expensive. But that was the same deal with that as get sea tow, because I think for ocean was like 150 or 200 bucks for the year. The lake version I think is 100 bucks.
Yeah.
Um, but I had a friend who they went out to Catalina to go fishing and had to get towed from Catalina to Newport, which is a pretty good distance, a couple
Yeah.
hours. And I think they paid like 2,800 bucks or something
Oh
like that.
fuck, dude.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
something crazy.
I think Ceto is like nationwide. I think, and it
Yeah,
it goes from ocean to lakes and stuff.
yeah. I don't know how in the world they do that for 100 bucks, but I guess maybe they assume you're not going to. Maybe a lot of people don't break down or don't need a tow ever.
Yeah. Well, if they get thousands of dollars in memberships, then that probably
Yeah,
just
offsets
what.
the handful of times they got to pick someone up.
Yeah, and then whatever, there's probably only a couple guys or a few guys on a lake or something, and they
Hmm.
all those memberships pay for their wages or something, I guess.
Yeah,
And
something
then
like
all
that.
the the thousands of people that don't have CETO and they get charged
Oh yeah.
$700. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So that's. I mean, we have till June 10th to make a decision, which I think is like 2 days. Yeah, 2 days. So, um, but that'll be happening. The other thing down here that the problem is getting a mechanic in any kind of timely manner. Like everything right now, this guy that we used for our inspection is a friend of a friend, and he has a shop in Dana Point. But he's like, I'm like 10 or 11 weeks out. So I'm like, fuck, we're gonna
Yeah.
buy a boat and then not be able to use it for 2.5 months, 3 months. We're gonna lose the whole
Dude,
season.
I live in a tourist town and like shit used to shut down in the winter. And, now it seems like things just stay moving. But like back in the day, dude, it would just be construction workers on the road,
Mm-hmm.
guys going to job sites and stuff and, people working their jobs. So it was pretty much like a ghost town in the winter. And
Yeah,
now, dude, it's like it just doesn't stop or whatever. And then in the summer, like it's like either since COVID, like everybody, like I don't know, like everyone's out and about trying to do shit. And
yeah,
then like we're a rural area, so we've had a bunch of people move here, and it's just, dude, like you can't even go get something to fucking eat without waiting in a line, or
yeah.
trying to go to a restaurant and the parking lot's full, and it's a fucking nightmare, dude.
That's
I don't
crazy.
know how California is, but this place is, it's been totally transformed since the pandemic.
Well, it's always been busy in Orange County. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets crazy in the summertime. So as soon as the weather gets nice, like the beach is packed, because everybody comes from inland to the beach. And Huntington Beach has a nice beach, lots of sand. Um, and then around any of the summer holidays, we're always slammed. We have the U.S. Open of surfing, which happens end of July, beginning of August for a week. So we get
Yeah.
super crowded then. Um, I mean, it's to a point where like we want to leave town during the busy times because it's so fucking crowded. And then up in Big Bear, it's basically just wintertime. Wintertime is fucked. You're like,
Speaking of
you know,
speaking of surfing,
yeah,
I was surfing churches. Do you know where that is? Out by San Onofre.
yeah,
And I would surf churches because it was more of a hollow break, and my dad would surf San Onofre. And
mm-hmm,
I paddled out. I was paddling out on a short board at San Onofre, just try. I was going to see if I could take off on anything, but it's usually hard to surf on a short board because the waves are so mushy.
yeah,
But I got snaked by Kelly Slater.
yeah.
Seriously, like he was there on a fucking longboard, like tearing shit up. I don't know if he was like taking a school of kids out or something, but there's a bunch of kids. But yeah, I was paddling, I was trying to take off, and the dude fucking snaked me and fucking totally stole my fucking wave.
Claim to fame. I had I used to surf a lot, like every day for a few years, and I had maybe 2 times where I thought I was gonna die out there. I thought I was gonna
Yeah.
drown. And one time, uh, my wife was at she was on the beach. I don't remember if we were married at the time, but she was on the beach like reading magazines and shit. And I was out pretty close to the pier, and it was a pretty, it was like 6 to 8 foot waves. And I'm good with like 3 or 4 feet, maybe like the random 5 or 6 footer that comes in, but 6 to 8 feet, that's too big of a day for me. Yeah, so I was
Yeah.
out there, and the tide in Huntington's really strong. It's like through Huntington and parts of Newport, like people get sucked out all the time. Lots of people
Yeah.
drown out there because of the riptide. Um,
Dude, I drifted like fucking at least half a mile in like 10 minutes in
oh,
Newport one
quick,
time.
yeah, super
Yeah.
fast. That happens really fast. Um, so I was out there, and this set of big waves came in, and so I paddled out towards them, so I didn't take it on the head. And I got under the first one all right, and then there's another one coming out further out. Fucking keep paddling, and so I get out past the waves, and nothing crashes on me. Um, but then I'm like fucking real tired. I'm like I'm gonna head in. Like I'm done for the
Yeah.
day. And so I start paddling in, and another set comes in. So I turn around, duck dive under one, fucking turn around, try to go back in towards shore. Another one comes in. So I'm like going back and forth, like 3 or 4 waves, and I'm just like smoked at this point. And the waves aren't really letting up. And I was so close to like asking someone to help me get in. But I was like, I can't fucking do that. Like,
How old were you?
oh, dude, I was like 23, 22, something
Oh
like that.
yeah.
And
Dude, we paddled out in some gnarly shit when we were kids,
yeah,
Like
yeah,
fucking 11, 12, 13 years old and shit. Like
yeah.
I don't want to tell fish stories and shit, but there was one day we were headed to fucking Surfside, and we were going to go body surfing at the Seal Beach Pier.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were driving over the bridge, you could see it fucking cloud breaking and shit.
Yeah,
We get there, there's all kinds of photographers there and shit, and we're like, that so fucking Seal Beach and the Wedge, like we didn't surf that shit because
yeah,
if we broke our boards, dude, I didn't have money to buy a
yeah,
new fucking board. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
we never surfed that shit. We just play around and body surf. But yeah, dude, we swam out and like it was fucking huge, dude. Like, and it just kept getting bigger, and it got so big that I couldn't get back in.
yeah,
And like I'm talking when shit broke and it washed up onto the shore like knee high water, like we're trying to make it out, and it just as the wash starts to go back out, it
it's
throws you
sucking
off
you
your
out.
feet and sucks you back out, dude.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was fucking big, dude. There was some dude there surfing it once we finally got in, and like he was taking off on shit, and he'd have his hands straight up, and it was like fucking double
yeah,
overhead.
yeah,
And then like in terms of surfing big shit, there was once in Huntington, like we didn't even check the fucking surf report. We just went one day, and
mm-hmm.
it was just like perfect barrels on the north side of the pier.
Yeah,
That was a big day. And then Newport, we went out one day, and it was like scary fucking big, dude. Like I went out with my buddy and his uncle, and this dude, like we're kids, like 13 years old. This dude's like a fucking 30 something year old grown man, and we
yeah,
paddle out, and I took off on one fucking wave. I made my bottom turn, and I got scared. I went back up, and I launched off the fucking top, and I paddled back out to the lineup.
yeah,
And like I'm out there just watching guys take off on shit, and I look towards the beach, and his uncle's on the beach like waving us to come in because he didn't want to be out there anymore, you
yeah,
know? So I took off on the next one, and fucking it closed out, so I went straight or whatever. But yeah, I took off on two fucking enormous fucking waves, dude, and fucking that was like some like butthole puckering shit, dude. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean? There was another time we surfed in Huntington where like we were scared to fucking death. And there was dudes. We were paddling out, and we were watching dudes like instead of duck diving, because shit was that prior to making it out to the lineup and shit was breaking in front of everybody. Dudes were like
Um,
standing on their boards and like jumping and diving into
yeah.
the water and shit.
Yep. So that was like, when I would go out on big day or bigger days. Um, yeah, if you're out there and someone's gonna land on your head, like that's what I would do too, is fucking stand up and like jump up and go down as far as you can just to not get crushed.
Yeah,
Ugh. Yeah, the wedge is crazy here. It's not that
yeah,
often, but like you get like 15 feet plus, but
yeah,
it breaks on sand. Like there's
yeah,
all the water sucks out of the bottom and into the wave. So there's literally like a foot of water beneath you. So if you fucking crash, you're going right on the sand. Usually it's just bodyboarders out there when it gets like that.
yeah.
That's
we
crazy.
would we
Crazy to
would go
see.
fuck around there and body surf.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to just fucking swim into something and just get tore up.
Yeah.
But I never went to the wedge when it was like any bigger than like fucking 8
Yeah.
foot or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm in Newport, so you can go between the jetties where it stays pretty controlled and the current isn't very strong. But I like, 3 or 4 foot waves. I could ride those all day. That's fun for me. Anything bigger than that, I just get scared. I don't want to drown.
I was in North Carolina, was it last year? And I rented a fucking longboard. And dude, I couldn't even fucking paddle out. I don't know if it was just the fact that I haven't been in the gym for 2 years, or it was just like a wash. Like there was nothing really rideable, but there was a few things breaking here and there, but I couldn't even make it out to the fucking lineup, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, if you would call it that, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was bad. If I paddled
Yeah.
out right now, I would probably drown.
Yeah. Dude, we did a trip to, I don't remember if it was in Cabo San Lucas or Cancun. And we did like one of these surfing excursions or whatever. You're at the
Yeah,
hotel and you can go surfing for the day. Yeah, I don't remember where it was, but we went out surfing, just longboards, and there's like 6 or 7 people in the group or whatever. And when we are getting ready to go out, there was like 2 guys kind of leading the thing, and they're like, no matter what you do, just don't put your feet down. Like, don't put your feet down on the ground at all. It's like, what the fuck? Why not? He's like, there's a lot of coral in here. There's rocks. There's trash. Like, just do not put your feet down, no matter what. So then you're like scared to shit to fall. It's like, well, I'm not too worried about my feet hitting something.
you ever surf the warm water jetties in Surfside?
No.
There's like a couple warm water jetties, like in the winter, like you can almost trunk it. But the shitty thing about it, I mean, and it only really works when the surf is like really big, because
Yeah.
it comes in there mushy.
Mm-hmm.
But we would go there and surf, dude, and you're like in fucking waist deep water. So when you're sitting on your board, your feet can touch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when the waves come through, they come in mushy, but they're fucking huge.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting there on your board, dude, your feet can touch the sand and you can feel shit like swimming by you, and it's
Yeah.
it's not a fucking ideal fucking thing in my opinion. But
Yeah. That's fun. Yeah, we're gonna see. This boat we're getting is fast enough and powerful enough to do wakeboarding in the lake. So we'll see if we can get that going with the kids.
dude, I want to wake surf so bad. Um, I mean, whatever. We have wakeboards and shit. The thing about wakeboarding is if your rope's on the water, dude, it's not much fucking fun. So like you got to have a tower.
Yeah.
That way you can at least jump wake to wake, because that's really the only fun that you can fucking have.
Right.
Now, dude, check into a wake skate. Like if you don't have a wake tower, a wake skate is so much fucking fun because it's maneuverable on the water. You're not binded in like if you wanted to fuck around and do like pop shove it's and shit, but you can literally take the board and just the way it glides through the water, like with a wakeboard. If you come from like surfing or skating,
Mm-hmm.
um, a wake or even snowboarding, like a wakeboard, it will fucking dig in, dude, and you'll get slammed face first. Or
Yeah, is that
if
different
you go,
than a wake surfboard?
uh, yes, but a wake skate is if you don't have a tower, dude, a wake skate, you can, like I said, you're not binded, but you
Hmm.
can go up and like tail slide the fucking wake and it feels
Yeah,
comfortable, or board slide the wake
right.
and it feels comfortable. I haven't ever gotten a wake surf because you need like a $300,000 boat to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Put up a pretty big wake.
Yeah, and now I've thought about doing it hillbilly style and like getting a
Just put a
cage for the
fucking
prop. You
yeah,
can get a cage, like get a cage installed around your prop. You're not supposed to do it with any fucking outboard fucking props
yeah.
because a wakeboard boat, the props
Hmm.
like rear center.
Yeah,
But and then you can install like a fin on the side of a boat and it will create a wake with like suction cups and shit.
yeah,
But the danger is in fucking getting sucked into the wash.
yeah. That's a pretty good danger.
Yeah. But dude, oh fuck, it sucks how much it costs to have a badass wake surfing boat. Cuz
Oh, it's
you have to fill.
expensive as fuck.
Yeah, dude, you got to fill the boat up with like they have chambers where you
Weigh
take
it
on
down.
water so the fucking weighs
Yeah,
the rear of the boat down, and then they have like electric props where you can switch, what side the wake's going to be strong on and
yeah,
shit like that. I mean, a wake surfing boat is technically that can be the same as a wakeboarding boat, but yeah, they make specialized wake surfing boats. But
yeah,
wait,
yeah. I mean,
like
they're like
wakeboarding to me
120,
was
140 grand these days.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, dude, like a decent one is 200.
It's
I'd hate
nuts.
to see what they are right now. They probably at least 250, dude.
It's crazy.
But we used to wakeboard quite a bit. Um, the hardest part figuring out, like if you're a surfer or a skater, is just the fucking getting out of the water, and then it sucks. It sucks. You're being pulled from a rope. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So really, the
yeah.
only
Just
thing that you
popping
can
up.
do,
Yeah,
yeah,
popping up is the weird part. And if the boat's not quick enough or strong enough, good luck.
yeah. But if you want to, if you don't have a fucking tower, dude, I'd recommend getting a wake skate because you'll have way more fun with that than a wakeboard.
Yeah,
And even if you want to get to the stage to where you want to jump wake to wake, you can do it. You just have to, you know, it's like fucking ollieing, you know what I mean?
yeah,
You're not
yeah.
binded in. So you'll either have to grab the board or you'll have to, ollie
Right.
and then slowly push it back down.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. That's pretty cool. I've never even heard of those. All right. Okay, marketing. So I read a lot of posts and comments and stuff like that about people trying to grow their companies or they're just starting out. How do they get more in business? Um, Kind of across the board. And it seems like right now, it's interesting right now because in some markets, things are like gangbusters still. And then some people are like, my calls fucking dropped off a cliff, you know? Your market's pretty busy right now still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is probably average or a little below average. So we're still plenty busy and plenty of phone calls coming in, but it's definitely a little different than it has been the last
I,
couple of years.
I feel like I feel like as soon as the holidays hit, the phone calls stopped,
Mm-hmm.
So and that's usually the way it is. It usually stops um, a couple weeks or a few weeks before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then, not until after New Year's and stuff do the phone calls start rolling back in.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it did that from the transition of last year into this year, and then it's slowly been trickling. But there's some weeks where I'll get, and it's weird how it happens, dude. Like I'll get fucking 4 or 5 phone calls a day, or I won't get any at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then every once in a while I'll get a couple phone calls every other day. But it's been consistent. but not crazy like so many phone calls I can't even field them like last year, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is slowing down.
Yeah, and there's a difference in how you manage your numbers. So like if you recorded everything very precisely, you would see more patterns because so here's one problem a lot of people do is they go based off of how it feels. Um
Yeah.
so it's like, it feels a little slower right now than it has been lately. And instead of like, well, if you look at the numbers, it's actually the same amount of phone calls as it was this time last year. You know, my estimator,
Yeah.
my salesperson will say, hey, I don't have that many appointments on the schedule next week. What's going on? And I'll go back to that week last year because we have everything recorded. So I'll check, April 15th from 2021. And I'll be like, we actually have two more appointments this year than we did last year this week. And it'll fucking, so now he knows that I'm just going to do that. So now it'll be like, next week seems a little light. Can you see what we did last year? And I'll fucking
Yeah.
check it and say, no, it's right on track. Um, so since we do track that information pretty closely, we know like very specifically when things are off. And so the last 2 years have been different than the previous 6 years. That's how long we have like really good data. And so the last 2 years were the anomaly. It was like nothing fit the typical um uh I don't know, data that we were showing prior to that. So the last 2 years, usually we have January, February, March are the slowest months of the year for us. And then as soon as taxes are done, like April 15th on the date, on the dot, from then through basically New Year's Day, we're just slammed the whole year. Like, can't keep up with phone calls, um, slammed all year. So the last 2 years, we didn't have any drop down in the January, February, March. It was like our busiest January, February, March ever. Um, I guess more so for 2021. 2020 got weird because it was like the beginning of COVID and all that. But 2021, no drop off at all. Stayed super busy all year long, including the beginning of the year and the end of the year. And then this year, we had a little bit of our normal drop off for February and March, but also April was lower than what it normally is. And lower than what it normally is going back to pre COVID times. So it was like extra low. Now for May and June, they've been pretty average. Not bad, not great, but you know, it's definitely down from last year, when everything was like blowing up. So the, we had talked a little bit about how you're growing your business or how you're starting your business. And I mean, why don't you explain a little bit of how you're kind of moving about, right? Like your year one in business, buying equipment, how you're getting jobs, that kind of thing.
Um let's see. So had I did my first job, just kind of like a tinkering kind of thing, and then I decided
How did you get it?
it was just like through a friend, like my old
Mm-hmm.
lady's friend, and that
Yeah.
wasn't what had um the deciding factor. The deciding factor was I was working for an industrial company, and I already told the story or whatever.
Yeah.
I decided I was going to be done, and I
Mm-hmm.
was going to go into business for myself. So I think the biggest thing for me was my old lady was working, you know what I mean? So it
Mm-hmm.
allowed me, and she's making decent money, so it allowed me to take risk.
Yeah.
And that was what always stopped me in the past was in the relationship that I was in. We had two kids, and she didn't have a career and
Yeah.
didn't work very much, but every once in a while. So I was consumed with work.
Mhm.
And it was always too much of a risk to go into business for myself. I did it like experimentally for a couple years,
Mhm.
but when I slowed down, I got nervous and I was like, can take zero risk. So I went to work for somebody. Um,
Yep.
and that was the last 4 years that I spent restructuring that company. But
Mhm.
yeah, with my old ladies, with my old lady working, it just allowed me to take risks. So I didn't have to, if I didn't do good right in the beginning, then it didn't matter. So I think my first year it was my first 6 months. I did like, what was it? It was like $17,000 was my
Yep.
first half year. I think I
Mhm.
did that really in like a 4 month period. And then my first full year was, I think it was, I think I almost, I think I was like 80 something thousand. And then my second year, um, like 120,000, and then third year like breaking 200,000, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Um so it's been slowly growing, but like from my perspective it's been balls to the wall, because when I started, I got a couple jobs here and there, and then um that first job that I got was my old lady's friend, and then I went and I started trying to like rebuild my relationship at the paint store, because the manager there at the time was a fucking bitch and I couldn't stand her, and we did not get along. So like what would happen is like I'd ask, hey, like what, she didn't like me, so I'd be like, hey, why don't you guys sell these brushes anymore? Well, can you look,
Yeah.
and she'd be like, "Oh, always looking for shit that doesn't exist," and So then I made it my thing to where the only things that I would buy there is shit that she would have to investigate and how to get. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So once she was gone and new management was in, then it was super easy to kind of rebuild a relationship with a new manager, and then slowly kind of show them what we do, and then eventually come the second year I'm in business, like we're the first card that's handed out, so
Yep.
that I think primarily was my main source of revenue, or main source of job leads, was through the paint store, and then slowly working up through word of mouth. Now,
Mhm.
while all that shit was going on, Facebook, LinkedIn, um, fucking Google, the Google thing, it took me about a year to start generating, cold calls and stuff, which the investigation I put into that, or how I view it mentally when I pour over it, is the fact that um, I made it a priority to, I noticed there's like, 20, 30 fucking paint companies or whatever, and like
Mhm.
they would be at the top of the list with zero reviews, or you'd
Yeah.
have somebody that had shitty reviews, but you could see that he ran, like he paid for it, so he was at the top of the list.
Right.
So the way I did it was, I didn't give a shit if I fucking lost money on a job. Like I was going to do a good job, bust my ass, and try my hardest to get reviews. So I think I'm approaching 20 reviews or whatever, because it is kind of hard to get people to do that, but 20 good reviews. And I've noticed that I think I don't know, when I'll get notifications like, hey, you've received, you know uh however many thousands of people that have looked at your Google account or whatever this
Mhm.
month. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so people are looking at it, I get cold calls off of it. And I think the main thing, and a lot of it too, like with the Google, I don't think the Google listing will get you by if you're trying to do like high priced quality work, because I think instinctually people will see, oh, hey, he's at the top of the list. Maybe they'll scroll around and see some stars, and they'll scroll back up to you and call you. But a lot of the people that call that fucking number are people that really, hey, this guy has good reviews, I want that, but they're actually the people that are looking for a cheap painter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So That's a lot of the phone calls I get from Google, from what I can tell. And then um, Facebook really, I don't know if it does much for me, man. I think it's primarily word of mouth and having a relationship at the paint store, and maybe a little bit Google and stuff. And then yeah, dude, like I don't fucking know. Um, can you
Well,
repeat
I
the
mean, so
question?
that's enough though, right? I mean that so I started my company very in a very similar way where it was like, I had um phone book ads, back then.
Yeah,
And I was spending like $40 a month or $60 a month to run two ads, two locations or two different phone books. And then it was like word of mouth, referrals, um, that made up the majority of it. But like my first year in business, I did like 45 grand. My second year was like 80, 85. Third year was like 150. I pretty much doubled business every year for a while, until I got into the
yeah,
millions. Um, and so, uh, you had asked me earlier if that was a good route. And I think that that's the most stable route you can have. That's where you're never going to go backwards from with your sales going at it that way unless you start fucking things up. Right? If you
yeah.
start like doing shitty work, not returning phone calls, like if you start
And
letting things go, it's going to go away.
I think I mean, some of the other shit that I'd done too was, I went and I did volunteer work at the Y, and
Yeah.
people saw that, or they would run like, hey, look at what Alpha Painting did, or blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then I would, um even dealing with general contractors, like knowing I wasn't going to deal with it, I would still go bid everything.
Yeah.
That way, like, I don't know if it works, but in the back of my head, I'm thinking mind share, like my name is at the very
Yeah.
least getting out there, you know, you know, advertising on the truck and like yard signs where I can, and just mind share, because what I'm thinking from the beginning is like, I know it's going to be rough, but eventually people, the word will start to spread, and
Yeah.
even subconsciously somebody may, and the videos, like somebody might have seen a video, I might pop into their head first. Oh, hey,
Right.
like somebody saw the, an awesome video that was well produced, and they might drop, oh, I know a painter, Alpha Painting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've gotten some phone calls like that, so I think I just did everything that I could think of, that I could possibly, that was in my control, you know what I mean, that I could
Mm-hmm.
think of, short of what I did last time that I tried to go in business of myself, which was walking door to door and handing out flyers.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
haven't done anything like that.
That would work. If you go door to door and pass out flyers, it's kind of shitty work, because
Yeah.
I mean, all day you're hoping you get one lead out of it, but
Yeah. That's what I
um,
did the first time,
it
dude. I
works.
would I'd go park outside of a neighborhood. I'd walk around. I'd knock doors. I'd hand out flyers. I'd drive to businesses and go inside and talk to the managers and explain to them that their building's rotting from the outside in and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
But
Yeah. So look, there's a million ways to do like guerrilla marketing like that, right? I mean, I used to have there were certain neighborhoods when I was starting out that were like really nice neighborhoods. The people have money to spend on maintenance and stuff like that. And I would go through a neighborhood if I was like slow, and I would write down an address, what they need done that's obvious from the front of the house, and then I would mail them an estimate,
yeah,
and just say, hey, we're doing work in the neighborhood. I noticed your shutters and front door could use a new coat. Here's what it would cost to do them. And I would just
yeah,
go through a neighborhood, write down an address, quick notes on it, and then when I got back, mail out all those estimates. And that would like always get me jobs. It was like a pretty good average on that. Um, I don't remember exactly what my percentages were. I wasn't tracking it, but anytime I needed work, I could do that. It would like guarantee get me something going. And so there's a lot of stuff like that where if I were trying to like maximize sales no matter what, um, I would have somebody knocking on doors or at least doing door to door flyer distribution. Um, like there's so many avenues that I don't use right now that I know would work. You know, when we paint a house in a neighborhood, the best practice would be to flyer up that neighborhood, you know, but do like a custom flyer. Like, hey, we just finished your neighbor's house at blah blah blah, you know,
Yeah.
street name. Take a
Yeah,
look
that's
at
a
our
good
work.
idea.
Take a look at our work. Every single neighborhood, pass out 100 flyers. You
Yeah.
know, um, we
Hey,
do like
that is a good
500 jobs
idea.
a year.
Hey, we just painted your neighbor's house, give us a call when, you need
Yeah,
this or that.
yeah. Take a look at it when you drive by. Give us a call if you need any painting done.
So
You know,
I don't know if I'm lucky or if I've just busted my ass really hard in the last 3 years, but you know, talking about all the shit that I've done, like I said, whether it was volunteer work or word of mouth or Google, like I said, which I feel like took about a year, or establishing a relationship with the paint store and making sure that they're handing my cards out. Because I have other paint stores that don't hand my cards out, so I don't buy their
yeah,
fucking paint.
yeah.
But so I'm not sure what all is working, but I haven't had to do any footwork like in terms of handing out flyers like I have in the past. But
Yeah.
um, and the biggest load that I've dumped into is video editing. Like I've obsessively tried to teach myself how to do that, and bought I've
Hmm.
spent thousands of dollars on equipment and video editing software, and have just sit there and grinded trying to do that. So, and then in terms of like the psychology of how I write my estimates and how I talk to a homeowner when I'm on a job to close a sale, and all that stuff. Um, so essentially, I'm to the stage now. Whatever the fuck that I've done, like the phone calls come to me. I'm not out there
Yeah.
looking for shit. You know what I mean? I'm actually turning down most everything.
So the videos and the way you put together your proposals and the way that you communicate on, during an estimate, um, that's going to help you have higher close rates, but that's not necessarily going to generate more phone calls,
Yeah,
right? And I think we're still planning on doing like a pretty in depth podcast on that sales process, how we handle it, the psychology behind it, the methods or reasons why you write it a certain way. And we write our estimates in a pretty similar way. Um, but the things that are getting you the phone calls is like being a reliable person. So if it's the same for us, we have Dunn Edwards is our main supplier here, and we have two main stores basically that we buy all of our products out of. And one of them is more main than the other. So we spend $250,000 a year through these two stores basically, um, and they take care of us. And it's like if I said, "Hey guys, I need you to get me some projects. We're slowing down or something," they're gonna be handing out our cards and all that.
yeah,
Um, they know that I'm not a cheap guy, so like we don't buy cheap products. There's like a lot of painting companies that go there and they buy the lower grade products all the time. you know, and they know that we don't ever, right? Like there's some of the lower grade products we've never bought, we're just never going to. We don't want to use it, right? Um, but making those contacts and then like standing behind it, like being somebody that can get a referral, because like I've, I mean, maybe one or two people that I would refer out to a client out of 1,000 that I've met over the years. Like almost I would refer almost nobody, you know, because people are not reliable. So
yeah,
if you could, everybody wants to be able to refer someone out. Everybody wants to know people. I would like to be a guy that knows everybody, and it's like, hey, call this person for that, call that person for this. But so many people are so unreliable. It's like, I, if I give a referral out, it's like I know they can do good work. I know they will stand behind it, but I don't know if they're going to return phone calls. I don't know if they're going to show up on time. You know, I know the guy's a
Yeah.
good person, but as far as business practices, I don't know. You know, you just have to see.
In terms of this subject, like I am fucking so overwhelmed with, like estimating and writing proposals and fucking being in the field and video editing and family stuff that I fucking, dude, that's one of my biggest downfalls right now is I'll get lost and I'll forget about returning
Yeah.
a phone call or, oh fuck, I
Yeah.
didn't submit that estimate. So yeah, like I really need to tighten my shit up on that.
That was one thing I never had a problem with. And I don't know why. I think I always had a place where if that thing is important, it needs to go in this place. You know, and for me
Yeah.
it's always been my calendar. If it goes on my calendar, I won't forget it ever.
Some
Um
of them, I don't have as much motivation to bid them because I know that I'm being
yeah.
used to justify a cheaper price. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And I kind of get pissed off with it and I don't prioritize it.
I've had
So I'll
plenty of
have several.
estimates, yeah, like that where I didn't send them out on time or I usually don't give an exact date on when the estimate's going to be sent. I'll say
Yeah.
within a couple days. Um, but I've definitely had estimates that I did not send out in a timely manner until they called me, and said, "Hey,
Yeah.
I haven't received the estimate yet." Um,
Yeah.
but I'm talking about things that I can't forget, right? If it's like I have an appointment for an estimate on Thursday at 1 p.m., I don't ever miss those,
What type of system do you use for like all your reminders and shit like that? Because I am fucking terrible with it. What I do is I get a phone call. I'll pull up the notepad on my phone. I'll take down
Mhm.
their name, their number, their uh, email address, their physical address for the job location, and then a brief description of what they want, and then I'll put a little notation. I'll put a notation in the notepad that says "need to bid," and then once I go look at the job, I'll change it to "need to write," and then once I have submitted, I'll change it to "submitted." And during that process too, like oh hey, I'm gonna go meet them on Monday the 5th or whatever. I'll put it in my calendar to where um, Siri is supposed to remind me. And there's been times where Siri didn't fucking remind me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I pissed
So,
off a general contractor that way one time, but I would have been too expensive for him anyway, but it
do
was
you
just
use the Google Calendar,
no, I use the I think
like the
it's
Apple?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the Apple calendar, I think it is.
So Google Calendar is more compatible with everything else. And then we had talked about a CRM system. You don't use a CRM, customer relationship management system, and so that would be a place where when you get a new lead, you would enter that lead information there, the name, the phone number, email address, description of what they want done. You would also set this appointment there. So you click in a day and time for that appointment, and then you click, save, and they get an automatic reminder. Hey, this is so and so Alpha Painting, just confirming our appointment for, June 25th at 1 p.m. Right. So they get automatic notification. It automatically pops on your calendar as an appointment time. Um, then you go do the appointment. You come home. You write up the estimate. You send the estimate. And then, depending on what kind of system you have, it might send follow up emails like, "Hey, we just sent your estimate yesterday. I just want to see if you have any questions." Blah blah blah. Right.
That would
Um,
be I could probably that would be an easy job if that was my only job, and
right.
I'm not in the field anymore, and
Uh huh.
I can that's my job is to 100% focus on that. But I've had to teach myself sales. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm teaching myself marketing, but I know for a fact, I've taught myself how to, the psychology of estimating. I know I've
Yeah.
taught myself how to sell a job.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm marketing correctly, but if that was my job, dude, I could fucking really hone in like the fucking, 27 years I've been in the field in terms of trying my hardest to master,
Yeah.
the
So look,
coatings industry. But
with the automation, the good thing about it is um, that it's just doing it for you every single time, right? Because otherwise, it's not getting done at all. You know, I mean, you're not doing any follow up with estimates you send unless it's something you really want. But if your company is doing follow up just automatically, and here's the thing, like some of it is annoying. Some of it is like, um, you need the wording to be generic enough to where it fits for everyone in every scenario. But you don't want it to be like a robot. It's so you customize them a little bit. Maybe one of these episodes we'll dig in and we'll pull up a screen share and we'll go through mine. But um, that is so it's like perfect for a person like you. It works really well for a person like me, where I'm not doing great follow up. My salesperson's not doing great follow up, and so rather than hire somebody to do follow up, I just have automation, and it sends an email and a text, like an hour later. Hey, just wanted to make sure you received the estimate. Give us a call if you have any questions. Blah blah blah. And then it'll send one a day later, and then 3 days later, and then 5 days later, and then a week later. So all these messages are just to remind people, hey, I'm still here. Hey, I'm still here. Don't forget about me. If they get another estimate,
yeah,
they know that like while I may be annoying them, they're still thinking about me, like they didn't
yeah,
forget about me. And while I may be annoying them, they're still thinking like, damn, that fucking guy is persistent, right? Or that guy's a good
yeah,
system or whatever, right? It's like it's annoying, but you also don't forget about it. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Um, and I've had a lot of them recently. So I've been using Drip Jobs, which is Tanner Mullins CRM. Um, and I tested it out like maybe 6 months ago. And to be honest, I thought it was pretty shitty at that point. But they made a bunch of updates and made it more user friendly for a bigger company like mine. And we're not that big of a company, but among residential painting companies, we're on the bigger side. Um, and so they made enough edits to it and upgrades and updates and all that to where it's really usable for me. And it's like, um, it's pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with it. So we've been using it for about a month now, full time. And all the automation, like I'm getting people responding to the automatic messages, like I'll just get a message from someone that's like, yes, we do want to move forward on it. We're just waiting on the carpenter to finish trim. I'm like, where the fuck did that come from? And it's like, oh yeah, I sent them a message automatically, right? Saying, hey, just wanted to check in, see if you're still interested in moving forward on the project, right? Um, but you can also steal those jobs from other painting companies. Like another painting company for sure could steal a job from me. Because like we need to make it as easy as possible for somebody to say yes and somebody to move forward. If somebody makes it easier than you do and they're good enough, they're going to get the job. If I go do an estimate today and someone does an estimate for them in 3 days, and that person in 3 days is the same price as me, likable enough, but they do really good follow up. And they're like, hey, I just want to let you know we have an opening on Monday. I know you guys want to get started early. We have an opening on Monday. If you want to get it started, I'll come out. We'll figure out colors, blah, blah, blah. Right. They're making it super easy on that customer to say yes. Whereas for me, we did the estimate and they don't hear from us ever again. They might have really liked us a lot, but then I got to call John. I got to schedule it. I got to figure out colors. I got to see when they're even available. All this shit where, painter number two is just like, hey, I'll come to you. I'll help you pick colors. I'll get you started on Monday. We're done with everything by Friday. That's like piece of cake, making it super easy on a client. And that's what a lot of people want. They want to like you enough, and then they want you to make it easy on them.
yeah.
Those are like
I would have to
huge
really
keys in it.
think about that in my market because I know 100% there's several competitive bids that I end up doing where A, they are, the competition is trying to figure out my pricing models, and B, um, I'm not doing follow ups and they're doing shit like, well, what's his price, and telling them that they'll do it for cheaper,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is fine. I don't want those customers anyway,
Right.
and those dudes will eventually, I think they're going to be of the types that when shit crashes, that they'll be kind of the first
Gone.
ones to go. But
Yeah.
it doesn't, and it doesn't transfer anyway. Like, if you know my number, like, I'll do, ask me my number, motherfucker, I'll tell you. But it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that you're not gonna put in the type of work we're gonna put in. Like,
Yeah.
cool, you went to a house and sprayed it off with water, and then fucking just sprayed fucking A100 on it without striking it. Like, it doesn't mean anything
Yep.
in comparison.
Yeah.
My number
But
doesn't
that's
matter
where
to
you
you.
build reputation. Yeah, that's where your
Yeah,
reputation comes into play. So, um, really important things is you need to be likable, right? People need to trust you. A lot of salespeople say people buy from who they like.
yeah,
Like they gotta. I think you need to not be off-putting. You don't have to be best friend. You don't have to be the annoying sales guy that's like, "Hey, buddy, oh, nice Denver Broncos hat. I'm a Broncos fan too, right?"
yeah.
Like
I
all
can't
that
do that
bullshit.
shit, dude. I
No, me neither. I
Yeah,
never have. I'm not that guy. I could find something that we have in common, or I don't even do that necessarily. I am naturally interested in like what people do for a living and whatever. I'm
I
naturally
don't ask those
interested.
types of questions because I don't want
Yeah.
people to feel like I'm trying to feel them out to see how much money I can
How
get
much
out
I
of
could
them.
charge them? Yeah.
Yeah, so
No, so
what
for me it would be like, so if I have somebody asking a lot of detailed questions, I'll ask them, "What do you do for a living?" Like
yeah.
inquisitively like that. And it'll usually be engineer or lawyer or something along those lines where they're real thinkers.
Yeah.
And I'll say, I thought so. A lot of people don't ask those questions, and it's just like, oh, yeah, okay. You understand
Yeah.
me,
Yeah, to
like that kind of
generate
shit.
conversation versus get an answer, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not looking, yeah, I would never come out in an estimate quote and say, oh, what do you guys do for a living? But
I
in
usually
something like
trap
that,
the
yeah,
way
where
I
where it'd be like
communicate
compliment.
is yeah, sorry. The way I
Mhm.
communicate is usually by trapping people into talking about the
Yeah,
matter at hand so I can display my knowledge of product,
yeah,
because I know that guys aren't out there, like digging deep into the details,
yeah,
of architectural coatings. So that's how I generate conversation, is just through the subject matter that I'm there for. You know what I mean?
yeah. So, but even on that, like I won't always go into details with some people. If I could tell that someone doesn't want to hear all the ins and outs of durability, I'll read that and then give them the short version. You
Yeah.
know, um, yeah, we should go deep on this stuff because there's a lot to it.
Yeah, we'll save
Um,
the psychology of estimating or
yeah,
sales, I guess, for another one.
sales. Yeah, that's fun too. I really enjoy that. I had a lot of fun when I was doing it. I rarely do it now. If I ever do it now, it's for like a really old client, that just wants to see me or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, okay, but so on the marketing side, so my company was built very similar to how yours was. We just did organic growth, and we pretty much doubled year over year. Um, and there was some kind of a breaking point. Like I basically ran everything myself up to like $700,000 in sales. Um, and then at that point, I brought somebody in to help me out. And then shortly after that, I hired a salesperson. And then that salesperson's been with me for maybe 6 years now, 6 or 7 years. Um, so we have another location. It's about 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes south of my main location. So in most parts of the country, that's probably not very far. Like, how would you have a place that close, that close to one another?
30 minutes south, what are you doing? Like Long Beach or something?
No. So ours is in Huntington Beach, and we're down in San Clemente.
Oh, okay. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, north,
Long Beach is
south.
north of Huntington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our Huntington Beach location will serve Long Beach. That's the furthest north we'll go.
Okay.
And then the furthest inland we'll go is like the Tustin area. So we won't go to Anaheim, right? So you've got Anaheim, Corona. My next plan is to do a
People probably
location
don't
there.
even paint shit in Anaheim.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of money, a lot of money has gotten into there. Anaheim Hills and through that area.
Yeah.
It's surprising, but a lot of money has come in. Um, So I'm gonna eventually open a location there. That'll probably be like next year. And then we're gonna fucking tackle LA. LA I don't want to do, but there's so much business out there. Um, I just don't want to deal with the traffic. So
Yeah.
LA and then San Diego. So for this other location we have, it's only about 2 years old, and we don't put any money into marketing there. So immediately I got an office down there, so I had an address, and then a Yelp page and a Google My Business listing. So now my company has two listings: one for South Orange County, one for North Orange County.
How
Um,
does that work, by the way, the two Google listings? Because if I was to say open up another shop in another city, can I run it off of the same number? Or do I got to do a separate listing?
we have a separate number for that just so we could track data,
Oh,
and then
okay.
we call it SoCo, South County. So it'd be JQ Paint SoCo, right? That's the name that we gave it.
Yeah.
So yours might be like Alpha Painting 2, number 2, Alpha Painting number 3, right? Or alpha, whatever the location is, maybe you give it a little tag at the end of it. It might be like Alpha Painting Hollister, or whatever. I don't know what the locations are around you, but something like that. So we do have a differentiator in there. And then my main goal in the beginning was just get a few reviews up there, so we start getting some organic phone calls. Um, so for that location, last year did like around $250,000 in business for the second year technically in business there. We have been able to piggyback off of the name that we built in Huntington Beach, so we get some crossover there. Um, and that one is like no money spent. I think I spend $70 a month for the Yelp page, just so people don't advertise on my page. Google My Business is free. You just got to post. Now, if I were trying to like, that's still a pretty big market there with a lot of money.
Now,
So
is the
yeah,
Google My Business, is that like having the Google listing?
yeah,
Okay. The but the My Business thing isn't like a special deal. It's just like having your phone number on there.
yeah.
Okay.
It's just your listing that you can control. You can post pictures to. You can
Yeah.
post. Yeah,
Dude,
that's
mine
just
doesn't
yours.
work right. Do you do all your postings from the computer?
No, I do it all from my app.
I do it from my phone and it's like it won't let me do certain shit and
Well, so they're recently changing. They're switching it all over to Google Maps. So now you have to do everything out of Google Maps. So your listing, if you go in and edit it, I don't know if it's 100% over now, but you can go into Google Maps, pull up your business, and then do all your editing in there.
what? That's so
Yeah,
fucking
they're
confusing,
getting
dude.
rid of they're getting rid of the Google My Business app, and so they're transitioning it over. So you only do it out of Google Maps.
Dude, I don't trust Google. Like they're
Yeah, I
fucking
don't either.
I bought hundreds and hundreds of dollars of fucking music from the Google Play Store and and
Yeah,
then they shut down Google Play and like I lose all of my music.
yeah, I don't trust any of it anywhere. I'm a very non-trusting person. I don't know if that's a word, but um, so that's a slow way to build something. It's going to take time, but if I just let that thing run in South County, in 10 years it'll turn over $1 million a year. For a repeat and a referral work, or at least in that range, maybe 800,000. Um, and that's just because we're not putting any money into marketing there. If we do want to wrap it up, it's just about a marketing spend, but we can do things organically through SEO. If we're doing blogging on our website, if we're posting lots of photos on Yelp and Google My Business, like all that content just helps us be more relevant all the time,
Now,
right?
by opening up shop there, do you mean that it's all your same guys, but it's just guys you've pre-talked to about going a little further?
If what? I'm sorry.
I said now by opening up shop in like a different city, and
hmm
treating it like it's a new business. In terms of staffing that, are you just, hey, here's a separate business, but I'll send my existing guys from Huntington to go do that?
Yeah. So when we do, when we do locations that are going to be further away, like LA and San Diego, we're definitely not going to have our Huntington Beach crew traveling out there.
Yeah.
Definitely not. That'll be crews that are specific to that location. For San Clemente and Huntington Beach, it's not that far away. I have some guys that I've hired that live further down south, like in the Laguna Niguel area,
Yeah.
which is like 20 minutes to Huntington Beach, 20 minutes to San Clemente. You know, they're like right in the middle.
Yeah.
So for them, it's easy to go either way. The San Clemente location, so like basically when we do LA, this would be like a good um, kind of thought experiment here. So when we do a location in Los Angeles, that is about an hour and a half north of me, right? And it's because of traffic. I mean, maybe it's 45 minutes with no traffic, but there's never not traffic up there. So when we do a location there, my salesperson now will decide if he wants to go out there and build that location or if he wants to stay here and continue working on this one. Um, but when we do a location there, we're going to right out of the gate have a subcontractor that will do jobs that we schedule and a salesperson. So that salesperson is going to be working on day one, whether we have jobs or not. I'm going to have to pay that person. That salesperson is also going to be a project manager in the beginning, right? So then I don't have to hire two positions, I just hire one. So my salesperson will get some sort of salary that's going to cover like project management position plus commission, which is going to cover their sales side of it. That'll morph into probably a sales manager or a project manager / sales manager or a regional manager, which is going to oversee both of those positions.
I'll do it for
Um,
200 grand a year.
yeah. It's only like 17 grand a month. Look, but ideally that's what that kind of position will pay, a regional manager, you know, somebody that will manage 3 Los Angeles locations, you know, and that person is just going to be responsible for managing all the different positions for that area. So right out of the gate, start with the salesperson that's also going to do project management, and then start dumping money into marketing. Like I guarantee within 1 month, I can have jobs scheduled out there. It's just how many do we want to have scheduled? How many crews are we going to keep busy? What's the goal for the first year? So, we've kind of gone through like internally within my company what it looks like if we branch into a whole different area like Los Angeles or San Diego. You know, these are an hour and a half to 2 hours away from us. So I'm not driving up there back and forth. Like that's not going to happen. Maybe once a week in the beginning, but definitely not a daily thing. Um, Probably every 2 weeks even is better. So
My
in the
average
beginning,
job means I drive
mhm.
2 hours a day.
Yeah, mine is like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We're pretty lucky here. Um, but so we do a location out there, and right out of the gate, the spend on marketing, depending on how aggressive we want to be, is going to be like $2,000 to $5,000 a month, right out of the gate. And so same thing there. I would set up a Yelp page, I would set up a Google My Business page, and I would get an address up there. Yelp and I think Google My Business want to have an actual physical location. They won't do like a mailbox, you know. Um, and so, like in San Clemente, I have an office, cost me $400 a month. In LA, we do the same thing, and then in LA, we'd probably eventually get a warehouse or get a shop space. That way, we can store equipment and all that there. Now, our spend would be between in the beginning it would be testing everything, so it'd be testing Yelp, you know, if we put in $500 a month or $1,000 a month on that, and then just start tracking numbers. Google AdWords, same deal, start with 500 or 1,000 a month, start tracking AdWords. Facebook, same thing. So all of our marketing up there would be, you know, like on a 2 to 3 month plan, and then just tracking the shit out of everything. Like very specifically, what is the best return? Maybe they all return great, and we keep them all going, or you know they all return great, and it's like it's too much business, so we got to dial it back a little bit. But if we went Facebook, Yelp, Google My Business, or AdWords, and put $1,000 into each of those, $3,000 a month, within 3 months, we would for sure have a ton of work, and we would have pretty specific information on which one's returning best. And then there's tons of other options for marketing too. Like there's mailers, there's lead services, there's SEO. Like there's so many options for it. SEO with manipulating your website for search results is the best long-term play. That's something that is going to eventually, you're not paying anything for it. You're just doing maintenance, and that's just generating business for you all the time. Those search words. Yelp, you have to pay all the time. AdWords, you have to pay for a long time until you get enough reviews in there and you have consistent marketing. But even then, like mine, I don't have that many reviews on our Google listing, but I have like 160 or something on Yelp. Yelp is bigger here.
I
So
can't
let's
think of a
say,
single human being that I would ever trust to just go do a job for me and me cross my fingers that it was going to fucking turn out all right. You know what I'm saying?
you could interview someone to figure it out. You would be able to do it. Like we've been talking about this, but I'll fly out there. You'll fly out here. Um, but you'll be able to see. Like my salesperson doesn't really know shit about painting, but he sold
Yeah.
I don't know, $1.25 million last year in painting jobs, you know, and they're people that we mostly made happy.
Yeah.
um, my foreman you'll get to meet. Some of them are really on top of it and really know their shit. Some of them are kind of knuckleheads, and it's just closer management or less management, right? Like my really high level foreman, I don't have to do very much management at all with them. I get them a scope. We talk about the project a little bit and they're off and running. Some of my guys, it's like, we have a conversation every day or every other day about where the project is, what the challenges are. Like they need to be reminded of what's really important to focus on, what's really important to think about on a project.
Do you have
But
do you have any
if I
do you
waited
have any
until
guys that that try and like cut your lead guy's throat and like go behind his back to try and play games and get his job or anything like that?
no, because they don't want it. And they know
Yeah.
that's higher pressure. They know it's higher pay, but they also know it's
Yeah.
higher pressure. So, like having people that want the top end, it's interesting. So, I have one guy that um, said he like at our Christmas party last year. No, 2020, our Christmas party. One of my lead painters, excellent painter, excellent worker, excellent employee, always early. Like I'll keep this guy forever if I can. Um, he wanted more money. I was like, hey man, I'll pay you more. You got to take on more responsibility, right? Like there's a certain place where it's not in the budget to pay somebody more to do a lower level job. Like unless they can do jobs on their own and then have people under them, you just max out at a certain point. Like I can't just pay someone $65 an hour if we're not charging enough to do that. And if I'm going to pay you 65 an hour, you have to do the work of two people. That's the only way it would
Yeah.
work. Unless, we can put three crews under you, and you one person is managing three crews that are going smoothly, then yeah, maybe I could pay you 65 an hour. So for this guy, I was like, all right, yeah, man, I'd be happy to pay you more, but you have to take on more responsibility. There needs to be some responsibility on projects. And this guy knows how to do cabinet finishing really well. He's basically been like the right hand man for my main cabinet finisher.
Yeah.
Um, and so, like early in the year, I had him with like, a higher level lead guy. That way they can just kind of work with one another, and kind of get used to being responsible. And man, maybe like 3 weeks in, he's like, I don't want it. I don't want this position anymore. He's like, it's too stressful for me to be in charge. I don't like being in charge, and it's all the little things they don't think about. It's like I don't know, they're supposed to send an update every day, a report of what got done today, what we're doing tomorrow, and if we need any supplies. Well, if they don't send an update, or if they forget that they need more material for tomorrow, and then they get there at 8 a.m. the next day and call me at 8:30 and say, "Hey, we're out of paint for the doors. We need to get more paint." Then for me, it's like, "Hey, dude, this is supposed to be in your report yesterday." Like, you got to make sure this is why you have to have that report in there, or that information in that report, because of blah blah blah. Now you're gonna leave the job today, have to go to the paint store. I've got to pay you to do that now, right? Like, um, and so enough of those phone calls with him, and he's like, "Fuck this! I don't want this job anymore." Put my pay back to where it was, and I don't want any responsibility.
Oh, you did
Um,
raise it, and then he wanted to go back.
yeah, yeah.
Dang. How much of a pay jump was it?
Oh, I think it was like $2 or $3 at the time.
Yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 immediately, and then a couple more if he sticks it out, and
Yeah.
works out. Um, so not everybody wants it. They all think they do, and I think enough of them have tried out and seen what the responsible person gets, good and bad. And most of them are smart enough to know, like, that position might not be for me,
Yeah.
because it's pretty cushy. Like, if you're a lead painter on my team but not a foreman, like, you almost never get shit from me. Like, I'm almost
Yeah.
not ever talking to you. But my foreman, I'm in touch with all the time. And so they make mistakes and it gets called out. um and I'm not a dick to these guys or anything, but if we make the same mistake a bunch of times in a row, then it's a problem. Then I can be a dick.
I've worked for so many companies out here, dude, that you go to work for, and they've really got somebody that is completely illegitimately, in the lead position.
Mm-hmm.
Not illegitimately, but like is unqualified.
Yeah.
And I stay out of it and just observe or whatever. I've
Mm-hmm.
gotten pissed at times before and just went and ran a cock gun and just pretended and observed
Yeah.
people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just watching guys do, like, everyone conspiring, and like
Yeah.
everyone thinks they're the fucking boss. And
Yeah.
dude, like, I've worked for several of those nightmare companies, and
Yeah. So that was a big problem when we grew to like 35, 40 guys, was all the conspiring. And right now, we're in like the 18 to 20 range, and I've got a pretty clean crew right now. Like,
yeah,
everybody mostly understands, like, if they slack off every now and then, fine. But if it's a consistent thing, you're going to be out of here, you
yeah,
know? And it's like, everybody knows, like, we give 40 hours a week all the time, no matter what. If you want weekends, you got them. If you don't, fine, no problem. Um, there's no shortage of work. And a lot of companies around here will pay a couple dollars more and then give you like 24 hours this week and 31 next week and 44 the week after and then 22 the week after. You know what I mean? Like, they're all over the place because they don't have consistent work. Um, so I have a lot of guys that go out, test the waters, and then come back at the same pay. I'm like, "Hey, man,
yeah,
why do you want to come back?" It's, "Oh, well, I just wasn't getting that many hours, blah blah." I'm like, "Look, if you look at 30 hours a week at $22 an hour versus 40 hours a week at $19 an hour, you're getting way more money." Um, so, but anyway, the building the company, I go to LA. I would be able to have a business up and running there like within 3 months, no problem. But I got to have maybe like 20 grand to start it, because I want to have, let's say, like $3,500 a month for marketing. And then I've got to cover salary at least for 2 months, maybe 1 month, 1 month of salary with no money coming in from my salesperson, you know. Um, and so 20 grand would give me enough to have some money to pay for materials, put together some equipment, um, and just have enough money to kind of keep the cash flow going. And I would bet
see,
within that first year, it's like, you know, I don't know, $400,000 or $500,000 of business, maybe more, depending on how hard we push sales.
yeah. To me, that would be, well, I mean, fuck, I don't know. I really
But
got to
look,
get my finances in order, in terms of like money that's getting put back, and this is for taxes and blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
personally of all the personal shit I've been having to deal
Yeah.
with or whatever, that is really like fucked up what I had going on or whatever. But um man, like the guys that would like roll the dice and get a $10,000 or $20,000 loan to start a painting company, like that was never me. I knew that
Yeah.
when I started it, um that I didn't want to do it like that. I just wanted to bust ass and build it off the ground.
Yeah.
And I did it post divorce, so I technically did it with like nothing, dude. I had
Yeah.
like a pretty much a clothes on my back and
Hmm.
like a duffel bag and shit, and and a car, and you know shit, like come like the second year, I had like 40 or $50,000 in equipment, which is a
Yeah.
lot for a small 2 to 3 man crew,
Look, that's a lot for anybody. I mean, I bet if we compared equipment sizes, yours is probably pretty similar to mine. You have some expensive stuff.
Well,
So
I
the
wanted
the one of
to.
the differences one of the differences in like how you're building your company versus this hypothetical LA company that I'm building is if I stop spending money on marketing, my business goes away in 1 month. If I build that, even if I ran it for a year, it's probably gone within 3 or 4 months, just because it's not enough business to turn over for repeat customers, for referrals, all that. Yours is going to take longer to build. Let's say you take 3 times as long as I do to get to $750,000. I'm going to get there really quickly, but mine is not going to be wowing people. Mine is not going to be like the personal communication. Um, Yours is going to be more personal. Yours is going to be more long term, longer lasting. Yours is going to turn over um, a lot. I'm going to have to keep spending money on marketing. Any of these bigger companies right now that are doing like 2 million, it's got to be over $2 million a month in business. Um, Almost all of them are spending thousands and thousands of dollars a month in marketing. Like 5 grand a month in marketing, 10 grand, 20 grand. For my
Is that
company, uh-huh.
that's even with what your business is by itself in Huntington?
No, not me. So
Oh,
that's what I was
okay.
going to say is almost any of these companies you see that are doing 2 million plus are spending a minimum $5,000 a month in marketing. And that's like through Facebook ads, through AdWords, through SEO, whatever you name it. Mine is I'm spending probably
So they're like
less
they're like
less than
startups.
600. Well, they're not getting enough repeat business. So
Yeah.
they have to keep getting these which for me it's the same thing. If I want to do $3 million a year, um, I'm going to either need to start cranking out my sales, getting a higher close rate,
What if
or
what if you
spending
did
money on marketing.
nothing, like zero marketing, none of that shit, and just what would it be like for
Well,
you?
so I've spent less than $600 a month for the past 10 years. And then the 10 years prior to that was probably less than 300 a month. So I spend very little on marketing, like almost nothing. These are like
But if
maintenance fees that I'm paying.
yeah,
Mhm.
if you spent zero, like what would be the state of your business right now?
So
Would
if I
it
drop
dip
down to
or
zero from like 600 on Yelp, people would now be able to advertise on my page. So I imagine I would take a hit there, right? Because right now they can't. So I'm just paying so that people cannot advertise on my page. It's like $90 a month. And I have like one or two other things on there. Maybe it's like a photo slideshow or some shit like that. I probably pay like 140 a month for Yelp. Um, Through what else? Um, I don't even know what else we pay for advertising on.
what is Yelp like in terms of? I think I know what it is, but what do you mean by having to pay to not have advertisements on it?
So Yelp, like if you search top 10 painters in Huntington Beach or best painting or interior painting in Huntington Beach, their listing comes up as like uh, check Yelp top 10 painters in Huntington Beach. So you click on it, and then you have just a full list of painting companies. There's like 100 or 200 or 300 of them listed in there. Yelp is basically this review site, right? Like restaurants, painting companies, carpenters, electricians, whatever, and it's just all reviews. So it's like people that view. It's the same thing as Google, um, and it comes up in almost the same area. So like I have mine pulled up right now. So for painters in Huntington Beach, painting companies, Huntington Beach, I'm number 3 on the Google My Business page, and then top 10 painters in Huntington Beach, California. That's the next one that comes up. So in there, you have paid advertising. Um, so it used to not be this way. It used to be just number 1 through number 10 would show up first, and then paid advertisers would be sprinkled in. I used to get like 40 calls a week when that was going on. It's like fucking crazy amount because we were the top for a bunch of areas, and that was completely organic. But legitimately, like 40 calls a week, brand new phone calls, real leads, like legit good quality leads. They changed up their listing service, and now it shows like 10 advertisers first, and then it shows you number 1. So we still rank number 1, but we're after you scroll down past 10 other painting companies who are paying for ads, and then you find us.
Yeah.
So, and there's just a little number 1 next to our name, so it's not obvious that we're top rated. Um, so, but somebody clicks on your name or on your page, and within your page there will be listings like on the right hand side that are like people that search this company also searched Lee's painting and also searched Jim's painting and also searched, right? So you have these other companies that are advertising on your page essentially. So if you pay them $90 a month, they won't have anybody else listed on your page. So all you're doing is getting them off. um, it's their way to make money for people who aren't paying for
So,
advertising.
so essentially, like you're to the stage to where, like, if you did zero stuff, like, you'd still generate millions of dollars of work, you think, in terms
Uh,
of marketing?
yeah, a little over 1 million. Well, yeah, it would take a while for our new business to go away. So like even for Yelp, if I didn't pay anything on there and I didn't like the turnover would still happen, it would just be at a slower rate. So I imagine I would start losing market share just slowly year over year. Um, but our repeat and referral business has been over $1 million for like the past 4 years, something like that. So that's not going away unless we start doing shitty work or being a bad reference.
Yeah.
If we start being a bad referral, that's not going anywhere. And that'll probably just get bigger over time, because the more customers we serve, the more referrals we get, the more repeats we get.
So then,
Um,
you've spent time, you know, year over year building word of mouth and mind share and all that stuff naturally, as well as added on marketing.
right. Yeah.
So
But it's taken 20 years.
you're like a vasectomy. You're definitely not going to get anyone pregnant. Whereas, like, the guys that are just going to dump money into marketing, they're like herpes cream. Like,
Right.
they're gonna have an
Yes.
outbreak unless they keep that shit in check.
Yes, definitely. And that's where you can dump money into marketing and blow something up pretty quickly. And if I went to a new location like LA or San Diego where it's further away from me, where I'm not going to have as much personal impact, it would be with a marketing budget of like $3,000 or $4,000, but it would grow quickly. It hit $1 million within 2 years at the most, and I just have to be able to manage that animal. Otherwise it's
Yeah.
chaos, and that all that money spent was for nothing.
So I think this subject, I think I will turn to you when, I mean, unless the zombies come and shit and we're looking at, like, really terrible stuff. But if the market
Yeah.
falls out and I'm having a hard time, generating business and stuff, I'm going to be hitting your ass
Yeah.
up about how to do
Yeah.
that.
So look, like if we were going to do an experiment, and let's say we need to get your company to $1 million in business by the end of 2023, the first things that I would do is interview to hire a salesperson and figure out a marketing budget, and because like even if I went to your market, there is marketing that works. It's going to be harder to figure it out because you're a smaller market, So if we go there, like in some markets, newspapers work really well. Like
Yeah.
putting an ad in the newspaper, tons of people read the newspaper. And in certain markets, like in Pennsylvania, in lots of Midwest states, I'm sure there's lots of people that are homeowners that read the newspaper every day. Um, and so in some places, newspapers work really well. Flyers might work really well. Flyers work everywhere. It's just a matter of what's the return on investment. If you're
Yeah.
spending $3,000 a month in flyers, what return does that give you? What if you spend $1,000? Does that give you a good return, good enough? Or is that $1,000 better spent on a newspaper ad, giant ads in the newspaper, or on AdWords or Facebook or Yelp or whatever other option you have, Um, but you would spend like 3 to 6 months testing where your dollars work the best, So let's say if you had like 5 grand to spend, even if you had three, you could do 500 here, 500 there, whatever. Um, and you just figure out which one is producing best. You have a salesperson so that every call gets taken, every estimate gets done. You have a CRM system so that follow up happens on every lead that you go and look at. And then you just fine tune things from there. Like here, I don't have very many tire kickers. So, like, our leads are hot. I'm not getting very many people that are just, wondering a ballpark price because, they were going to paint it themselves, but they figure they'll see what it costs to get it done by someone else. I get very few of those, but I guarantee I go to Midwest or anything like that and start getting a ton of them. I see a lot
Yeah.
of feedback that people get a lot of leads from people that they say are not buyers. I don't know if that's true or not because I don't live there, but
Yeah.
there are ways
I
to
mean,
pre-qualify.
income's a bit lower, and yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like I get phone calls like that every once in a while. Well, we just tried to paint our house, and we realized that it sucks.
yeah, right,
Like
right.
we don't know what we're
But
doing, and
paying 10 grand sucks more, so I'll figure
yeah,
it out. Right? That's
yeah.
um. So, but
Very,
you start doing
very
pre-qualifying.
unlikely. I don't even think
Mm,
I've ever sold one of those jobs.
yeah. But that's where pre-qualifying comes in. So my thought is probably that first phone call is you try to cancel them out or confirm them as a real buyer.
Yeah,
And it's like you know, why are you looking to get your home painted? Have you hired a contractor for working on your home before? Like those types of questions, even ballpark prices. If you're getting a high enough ratio of tire kickers, then you just start doing more work to pre-qualify them. That way you're wasting less of your time.
yeah,
But that's all in that whole like the whole A/B testing process is figuring out which marketing avenues are working best, and then double down on them. And it's if you have a salesperson because it's going to be really hard to grow that big that quickly while you're working on a job and trying to do estimates and trying to answer phone calls like that shit. It's not going to happen. You're going to pull your hair out.
so in a rural market, say you move somewhere, right? Say you moved to a rural market, small town, nobody. How much money do you go there with? How much, knowing that there's a lot of shit help, and uh say you got a rent, or you just bought a home, or whatever the fuck, dude. Like, how much money are you going there with? Whether it, I guess, don't include rent
Yeah.
or mortgage. I guess you would have to assume like $4,000 or $5,000 a month in bills, right? That you would have to generate or live off of, and then how much do you use to invest into a business, and how fast until you're generating money?
Well, let's just not count the cost of living at all. Let's just count the business side. So let's say my house is paid for. I don't have any bills, but I have to, you know, build a business. Um, so for me, I'd want to have like 6 months of my marketing expenses would be ideal. You know,
Well, I think that the cost of living is very important because you only have so much time to do this. You know what I'm
right?
saying?
Well,
So,
but then if we're saying how much money do I go there to start with, and it's like, well, how about 100 grand? How about 200
mm,
grand? How
no,
about
let's go like let's say you go there with, let's say this, $10,000 for business stuff.
hmm
You have nothing, and then you have a backup income of $15,000. Let's say 20, you have a backup income of $20,000, and that's going to get you 3 months of bills. So you have 3 months to have your shit
figure it
figured
out?
out, and on the fourth month, you're out of fucking money.
Okay, and I've got 10 grand to start.
Yeah. That's all you
Okay,
have to spend is 10, yeah, 10 grand into business stuff. And
so
you've
it's
got like
yeah,
5 grand for traveling expenses, and then all the rest is fucking bills. So really
yeah,
you only have $10,000 to invest in business, 5 grand to fucking feed yourself fuel and gas,
yeah.
and then 15 grand for bills, and you're broke in 3 months.
Okay, so that's not an ideal scenario for me. Like when we do an LA location,
Yeah.
I
Well,
wouldn't
I
go in.
just need to bring you into the
Yeah.
white trash life and how shit works out here.
So I wouldn't go into LA with those parameters,
Yeah.
right? I would probably want 20 grand to go there, and that's
Yeah.
what I would spend on the business, running the business. That's how much I would use to start a company there,
But how
and
much
that would be
money
with a
would you have
salesperson.
to like say pay rent and shit for, you know what I mean? Like, are you looking
Yeah,
at like, hey, I moved to LA with
no, I
$100,000?
wouldn't move there. Yeah, this is what I'm saying.
No,
This
no, no.
is
I'm
like
just
for
saying though, but that's like
yeah.
the difference. Like, hey, you're coming out here, you're almost broke. You've got, 10 grand for business. You got 20 grand to fucking pay rent for 3 months and have some,
Okay,
food.
so let's say here everything crashes for me, and I close up shop, and I'm moving to Missouri.
Yeah.
Right? I've got enough money to cover my bills for 3 months, and I've got 10 grand to invest in a company. Right?
Yeah, and you're, by the way, you're moving here because like everyone in like LA is turning to zombies. They're starting to eat each other.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Okay, so I'm getting out of there. Uh, so first off, I would be doing sales. I would be doing project management, but I don't think I would plan on doing any of the work myself. Not to start. I think it would start out right away with subcontractors. So I would make phone calls, talk to local painting companies, find guys that are reviewed really well, um, and then I would start doing. Um, if I had ten
Now,
grand, yeah,
here's something you have to consider. Those guys that review very well are probably going to be too expensive for you
yeah,
to make money off of them as subs. Now, the cheaper guys, they might be smoking some meth. They might
yeah.
fucking, they might smoke a
But
bunch
then
of
you do your
weed. They
interviews. But so, like in an interviewing process, you figure out, okay, on a house, whatever size, you can have them out to your house. Say, look, I'm trying to build a business here. I need somebody that I can sub to that I can trust. We got to figure out the pricing thing. I don't mind, trying to get higher prices than what are normal, but we need to figure something out. So if I sell a job at a certain amount, you could do a quality job. So maybe have them out to my house and have them give me an estimate on it. Maybe I'll tell them like, hey, I'll give you $50. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to be an asshole, but um, if you come out, write up a proposal how you would for a regular customer. I'll give you $50 for your time, and then have 10 different companies do this, and figure
yeah.
out who's showing up on time, who's late, who looks
By the way,
professional.
like
Yeah.
we don't know each other, and like I'm probably like the first person you called, and I've already told you to go fuck yourself.
Right. Yeah. Probably. And then I figure out like, all right, shit's going to be different here. Right. Um, so month one, I'm probably spending like $2,000 to $3,000 in marketing, testing the waters. Month two, I'm getting a little more refined, and maybe I'm spending $3,000. And then month three, if I don't have my shit figured out by month three on my spend, and I'm not bringing money in, then I'm getting to worry a little bit.
Yeah, and like
But
you're
you
you're
should be able to
trying to
track
look
your
for
numbers.
bathrooms you're gonna have to paint.
Yeah. But so if I only had 10 grand, if I only had 10 grand, I would be doing lead services as well in the beginning. I would be doing Thumbtack or
Yeah.
Home Advisor or whatever you have out there, because that's like instant money generating. Um, yeah, so 10 grand's not enough runway to be able to like test something for 4 or 5 months. So if I had that short of a runway, I would be doing a lead service or something for sure, or be a sub
Yeah.
for a company like mine,
I
making
think I
peanuts.
think you could do it, but I've been in like several situations to where I've had that guy come to work for us, you know what I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
ended up fucking like getting rid of them, or they get stuck there for a long time, or they quit and they go to work for another company and they're just stuck in the mix, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, look, it's not
Um,
you would have to track the numbers really tight and you would have to be on top of it. And you would have to be not afraid of the risk, cuz like you're going into it like balls out
let
and
let's use
all or
California
nothing.
as an example in terms of subbing, because let's say, hey, I'm Aaron, I'm gonna go fucking sub something from another contractor in Missouri.
Mhm.
Here,
Yeah,
like, my prices are gonna be so high that I'm gonna be higher than the guy bidding the fucking job. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah.
So
Nobody that you would never work as a sub because of that,
yeah.
right? Like you
So
couldn't come here and do
so
sub work cuz you would be too expensive. I couldn't
yeah.
pay
So
you to do my job.
if you came here looking for subs, dude, and you're gunning for, you're trying to turn a profit off of somebody else doing something, and you're digging around in that lower to mid tier range, like you're really
Yep.
talking like dangerous, fucking low quality, fucking just shit work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but then you
And then
then you coach them up though, right? Like you could do this too. You
like,
could
are
take
you
a
talking
crew.
about like subbing, or you're talking about like pulling a sub together that and like managing the project
No,
and not
subbing.
leaving the fucking job? Just
Subbing it out, but managing it pretty tightly. Like if I had a sub crew, maybe I go check out a couple of their houses and I find things I don't like and I find things I do like, you know. I might manage the materials. I might manage the prep work. I for sure would manage the prep work. But it would be like, hey, this is, if I sold this project for 5 grand, it's an exterior repaint, and I need them to do it for 2,500 or for 2,000, let's say. Um, $2,000, I'll cover all the materials cost. You guys just show up and paint, right? It would be okay. We walk through the project in the beginning. Day one, we walk through everything, and then I say, hey, let me know when you guys are done with prep work. I want to come check it before we start putting any paint on. So we get through prep. I go check it out. Okay, this looks pretty good, but I want you to fix this, this, and that. Before we start getting any paint on. Okay, no problem. Right, they get it done. After we get first coat on, hey, once you guys get first coat on, let me know. I want to come check it out. Right, we get first coat on, then I see like, man, you guys spray patterns all fucked up, or you've got all these crevices you're not getting any paint into. I want you guys to back roll the next coat, or catch these little cracks before you get onto the next coat,
yeah,
whatever.
back roll. You ain't paying me enough to fucking back roll.
Yeah. Look, I need it back rolled. What's it going to take to get you guys to back roll it? Right? You need $200 more. Fine. I understand. Next time, plan to back roll because I want everything back rolled. I want these places looking good. All right. So now it's costing me $2,200 to do it. Right. Um, so, okay. Then, when the body's done and we're going to start working on trim, let me know when the paint's done on the body. All right. Then I come out there, check it out again, go through whatever little things. Like you can manage a job close enough. Like I have to go to that job 5 times in a week, right? Once every day or 4 times in a week. But that little crew, as long as they become reliable enough, then I can start making money off of them. You know, on that $5,000 job, maybe I make $1,500. If I can get 4 of them in a week, $6,000 in a week. Or if it's only one a week and I just keep this crew busy only, I'm making $6,000 a month. That's covering my marketing expense, and giving me a couple thousand extra. And so you got to try to get loyal people. But that's the where you start getting creative. You start
I
giving them bonuses or them gift cards or them tool allowances or whatever.
I I'm not going to say that it's not possible in this area, but I just have zero faith in this area.
Yeah. But
I
that's
would
probably
imagine,
because
like,
that's how you see it.
yeah,
Like if you come in there with just like fresh eyes and what are the options? What's the opportunity? Like if you come in and it's just data only, that always wins out. Like there's a million corporations in your area that are doing just fine. Like even your Walmart there, they're running business and they're doing millions of dollars a month in business with the employees that you have in your area. Your Starbucks, they're hiring local people. They're not hiring people from like a different state to come in here and be reliable and be on time and follow directions. All those people live in your area, so they're around. It's just what's the motivation to get them to paint, or, how do you get painters to be motivated to be really reliable? They all live there. It's just, you know,
yeah. Or how do you get painters?
yeah. But look, even if I lived there or if I moved there to start a business, I would probably run into the thing of I can't find enough good painters quick enough. And so in that
Yeah,
case, I would probably build like a training facility, and then pay you 200 grand to just train people all day, every day for the rest of your life. Right. But you
dude,
would
I
turn
would
out, but you would turn out
two
like 10 new
250.
painters. But then you would turn out 10 new painters like every quarter. Every 3 months, I'd have 10 new painters that are ready to go.
I will
We
get
just pull
motherfuckers
people.
to take the diaper off.
Yeah, we just pull people from warehouse jobs, from fast food jobs, from server jobs, and let them know that hey, if you can get to a level where you're managing a crew, you're making whatever, $1,000 a week, $1,200 a week, and then make a giant business in Missouri, and then franchise it and become a Certa Pro.
A Walla Pro. Oh, hey, we haven't talked
Yeah.
about that live since we got the
Oh, fucking Walmart.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
So a few episodes ago, and we've been conspiring for a minute, and like we were joking around about Walmart selling paint jobs, and this started as a joke, and it's actually happening now.
It's pretty hilarious because we went down a whole path of how Walmart is going to take over the painting industry.
Yeah.
Um, and now they're getting their feet wet. They've joined with Angie's List. So they're basically taking their market and Angie's List market and kind of combining them for this like venture. Um, and it'll be interesting to see what it produces. I mean, Home Depot did it or does it. Lowe's does it. Lowe's is their system. I think is called Porch, um, but they're hardly making a dent in the market. But they also don't
Yeah.
promote it very much. It's definitely not obvious if you go into a Lowe's or Home Depot that you could get painting done at your house. They do promote flooring, both of them, pretty heavily. They do promote like window installation, door installation, stuff like that. I imagine the market for painting or the markup for painting is not very big and probably
No.
way too many headaches for them. That's probably what they've learned. Is it's like, man, we got to go back and fucking fix every single job. We end up only making $400 on a paint job on average. So
Yeah.
they just don't
I
push
think
it.
it's going to be a huge nightmare for Walmart personally.
Yeah,
Like
maybe.
I think they have no fucking idea what they're getting into. Think about it for a second. Like everyone thinks they're a painter, dude.
Yeah,
Everyone. Every person you've ever hired that didn't know shit thought they were a painter.
yeah,
And a lot of people don't respect it, and they, oh hey, we sell brushes, like we can roll out a wall. Like there's so much
yeah,
more that is involved with it. But I think it's going to be a nightmare mess for Walmart. And even if they end up hiring subs and they vest people and stuff, but think about like the CertaPro stuff or whatever, like, hey, we're looking for qualified,
yeah,
quality contractors, and then you like give them your name and your phone number and blah blah blah, and they're like, congratulations, you're certified, or you know what I mean,
yeah,
like
yeah,
you've made it, and like
yeah,
they don't know fucking shit about you, dude. Like,
Yeah, but they also sell franchises all over the country. You know, CertaPro does it,
yeah,
and they're competitors for almost all of us wherever we live. There's some CertaPro fucking franchise that's doing jobs that we would do, right?
yeah,
And they're doing subcontractor model only. They pay super low rates. I think it's like 30% maybe is what they pay subs.
yeah. But the
So
CertaPro actually charges. Last
a
I bid
lot.
against them, they charge pretty
Yeah.
fucking high.
Yeah. They charge similar to what I do. And then they pay like 30%. So they have money to take care of touch ups. They have,
Do they
and
supply the material though?
so in some cases they'll pay 40% and you buy the material, but they supply the material, I think, is their model because they're also on a big group plan, which is all the franchises together being a big buyer, you know, at a
Oh, in
PPG or
terms
Sherwin
of
Williams.
of that's how they get really competitive paint
So
pricing. I see.
yeah, so Alpha Painting buys $50,000 a year, while CertaPro buys $5 million a year. You know,
Yeah, I see what you're
so
saying.
they just take their
Yeah, so
franchise
they
purchase power. Yep.
yeah, so they probably get really competitive pricing models on paint.
Yeah.
Um, but but there's still people that don't give a fuck about calling CertaPro.
Yeah. Definitely. But that's where, like, when we talked about this before, there's going to be the mom and pop shops that still stay busy forever, you know, because people still value high quality and
Yeah.
craftsmanship and, you know, personal touch and all that. But there's like, I don't
Ooh.
know,
Maybe,
200.
when I said maybe I was like, there's no way that Walmart would be able to take on a production project and put out like thousands of gallons a day and shit and just keep crazy deadlines and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But what if, like, you know how fucking cheap builders are, dude? What if builders start using Walmart painters and shit, and they actually just 100% get what they deserve? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just that fucking cross-eyed, fucking sideways door rolling motherfuckers and shit,
Yep.
and just get some terrible, terrible paint jobs, and people actually step back and think like, well, shit, maybe we should really start thinking about hiring an actual professional, you know?
Well, but then that'll separate the good ones from the bad ones, right? Then it's like, well, Jim's construction, we know he doesn't use Walmart painters. You know, he uses custom guys, but his price is twice as
Yeah,
much. If I buy a house
yeah.
through
It
him, it costs me 600,000. If I buy a Walmart house, it's only 300,000. But it's kind
it
of
could
shitty.
it could turn into a good thing. Hey, I just
Yeah,
seen that Elon Musk is starting a company or whatever to build tiny homes that start at like $50,000.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if he's doing that company, but definitely they have the tiny homes, modular homes, and all that shit.
Yeah, they look like they're not pre-built, but they're like they go assemble them on site or something.
Yeah, yeah, yep. Yeah, I don't know much about them. I've seen ads and stuff for them, and I want to say like 80K will get you a pretty nice one, but small, you know.
Yeah,
But
I
if you
saw
could have it
50
paid
grand,
for,
but
yeah, if you
I
could have
think
it paid
I
for,
might consider something like that.
yeah. Now, are you talking about these ones that are like shipping container size?
They're pretty fucking small. I'd probably have to get two of them
Yeah. Well, it
or a
depends on
big
what size
one.
you're talking about. Yeah, because they have the modular, which are like you know, you can get a 1,500 square foot, 2,000 square foot version. But
Oh, really?
then there's like the mini homes, which are like fucking a shipping container, you know, like
Yeah.
10 by 20 or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that. The tiny home ones were like 50
Yeah.
grand. But then
Yeah.
then they're talking about how they had 8-foot ceilings and like 6-foot
Yeah.
windows, and
Yeah.
it looked fairly fancy, you know.
Yeah. Well, they look cool. Like if you put them on the lake, then it's like sweet, you know. But if you're
Yeah.
just like fucking in a regular neighborhood in a shipping container
Oh
house,
yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't give a fuck.
yeah.
Well, a lot of places do have like like HOA restrictions and
Yeah.
stuff like that though.
Yeah.
But I would probably buy some land or whatever and then stick one of those on it to where I'm out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So here, one of my employees is like buying real estate and shit. He's been really smart with his money.
Oh yeah,
And he's got a friend I think he's investing with, but they're buying property out like, I don't know, out in the sticks from here, a couple acres. And I guess if you put on like a trailer that you don't have to get it permitted and all that stuff. So you can, like, if you put a house on it, you have to get it permitted, approved by the city and all that shit. But if it's just a trailer, you don't have to do any of the permitting based on the city because it's like a mobile trailer.
yeah.
Um, so I guess that's pretty popular out there. Get like 3 acres and put a couple trailers on it.
Like
I don't know.
like drivable, or are you talking like double wide, like
Like
hillbilly
towable.
shit,
Yeah, like towable trailers. Yeah, you don't have to be
like
able to
that you
drive it.
tow behind a truck?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, yeah.
Yep.
Dude, I don't. I've lived in a couple shitty trailers. I don't like living in trailers out here because our weather's so fucking extreme.
Oh yeah.
Like microbursts and fucking sideways wind, you know what I mean? Fuck,
Yeah.
or sideways like hail and shit and rain sometimes, dude. And it's like
Yep.
super gnarly when shit like that's going on and you're in a tin can.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that shit. And then
Yep.
plus you look at like prices to buy a new trailer anyway, and it's like, dude, I might as well just buy a damn house.
Yeah, I know. They're crazy nowadays, man. Everything is crazy right now. Wild.
This scenario where, yeah, we were talking about switching companies. If I came and ran your company for 1 month, and if you came and ran my company for 1 month, what would transpire? I would hope you would pay my fucking taxes, but
Yeah. Maybe we'll see. Um all right, so if I went to run your company, boy, I think early on, I mean, I'd probably fuck things up because I wouldn't do them as quickly as you would. Um but I would focus on marketing and sales. Those would be my number one, and I would start interviewing people like crazy. That's I would
this
I would
can't
be
go without
running ads
saying
for
though.
interviewing.
Like the last couple jobs we've been on have been long nightmares, by the way,
Yeah.
which we're
Well,
not inherently used to. But
yeah. I get to go in after that then. But even
yeah,
some of your jobs, like even the types of houses are totally different than I'm used to here. Right? Like here, we're fucking like 6 feet apart from the neighbor, and you got a
yeah,
fence in between. So you've got 3 feet on either side of the fence and then 2 or 3 story houses up. So you can't put a boom in on the side of a house. Yours, you've got like how tall is the one that you're working on now, or the exterior that you're getting ready to start?
fuck, dude. I don't. I mean, from the ground to the peak, it's at least 50 foot.
Yeah,
But we're
that's
we're
fucking
gonna have
tall.
to like reach all that stuff from the decks, and then take some screens out to reach out and get outer
Yeah,
portions of the porches, and then use a lift to get to dog houses. I just
yeah.
realized too, there's two more dog houses on the sides of this fucking house when I was editing this video that I didn't realize, and I'm like, fuck. And
Like rewinding it. Ah,
so
shit.
yeah, oh fuck my life, like, and I don't think I can reach them from standing on the roof, so I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, I think, attempt to run a rope grab and tie off from the ground, run up, pull the rope grab across the center doghouse, and use that as a lever to come down and
Oh
rappel
man.
off the fucking side.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, my main things would be marketing and interviewing. I would be I would have to well, you've got two guys right now, right? So that's enough to at least get shit done.
I don't know if this other guy's really. I don't even know if, like, he didn't. He had some shit going on. He didn't show up today, so I don't know. I'm not gonna count him in.
Yeah. All right.
So it's just me. I think we're gonna be
One
back to
guy.
me and Jeremiah. Yep.
Okay.
But
So if I go
Jeremiah
there,
is
I got one
complete.
guy.
Jeremiah is completely self-sustaining because he's
Yeah.
fucking alpha certified. So
Yeah. All right. Well, I can't run a job with one guy, so I would have to hire somebody immediately. And then it would be marketing and hiring. Those are the main two things I'd focus on. I would get the business to just just keep maintaining and then hiring and marketing as soon as possible.
By the way, you don't have much in the bank accounts to play with.
There's a lot of free ads you could do. Lots of free ads you could do. You could try poaching if it comes down to it. But yeah, anyhow, about my business, we've got around 20 guys and 2 subs
Okay.
and a salesperson.
Yeah. You'd probably, I mean, first off, like right when you got back, you'd probably come back to some guys that got fired right off the bat.
Yeah.
Maybe some fines or something from like some type of
Yeah.
organization, that deals in fucking like humanitarian
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah.
I broke
Yeah, I'd
some
probably be
type of
getting
law.
sued. Yeah, I'd probably be
Yeah.
getting sued by employees.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah, they're
might have
definitely
a new
sue happy.
bike, you know.
Yeah.
No. you you get back and I'm like, "Hey man, you got a new bike."
Right off.
Yeah.
You would probably have to whip my guys into shape a little bit.
Now, if we were being serious, like, dude, like if I were to like legit, if I were to come in and like you hired me as a director of field operations, for one, just to be completely honest, I would be fucking 100% scared that I would disappoint you. You know what I mean? So I would be like over fucking thinking and overdoing everything. But I
Yeah.
think essentially, like if somebody from the outside comes into a company like that, you can't just fucking go in and just start barking orders and
Yeah.
this and that. Like, dude, I would probably, like, if I legit actually came to work for you and I was gonna manage your shit, I would actually go work in the field with the guys for like 2 months before any of them even knew what was going to be happening, and I would bust ass and I would
Yeah.
fucking prove myself to all the guys first, and I
Yep.
would spend a good 2 months doing that before that issue ever got brought to light that that I was going to be running the shit. But
Yep. I agree
and
with
then
that
just
too. That's a good move.
you know we would I just slowly work things over, like you know it's all about the guys being malleable. Like you can't just come in and fucking take shit over without I mean,
Yeah.
you can. you, I've ran shit in the past out of fear, but that's not, you're not building longevity with guys that way. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I would have to go in and let everybody beat me up and then slowly start surpassing what they thought was possible and gaining
Yeah.
their trust and shit.
Yep.
And then once you reach that stage, which would take a couple months, then slowly start reorganizing things and structuring things and showing what is actually possible.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. That's for sure the right move. Go in and show them you know what you're doing first. Show them you can be trusted. Show them you can teach them a thing or two, help them out.
Yeah,
I would probably
but
go into your company and be
I wouldn't
like,
even do
slow
that, dude. I
down.
wouldn't go in. You cannot go in at all and just start being like, hey man, why don't you do it like this? Why don't you do?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You just go in and you do what they want, and then
Yeah.
like it's gonna take months because that guy's gonna notice, like, damn, dude, you see how fast he got that shit done? You're gonna do
Yeah.
everything the way they do it, the way they want,
Yeah.
and then maybe once the time is right, like, hey, I'm gonna have Aaron do this job or whatever, and then
Yeah.
have a couple key guys come witness how it all goes down, and then it kind of just, you have to branch it out from there, because
Yeah.
it's a political and a sociological game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So the way that I do it now, if I ever go onto a job site to work, and every now and then I do, I did on that night job recently. Um, I treat it the same way. It's like, hey, to my foreman, you tell me what to work on. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. If you want to give me a shitty job, if you want to give me whatever, like I'm here to work. Um, and it's for that same reason. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
Like I went on that night job and I had to do like by far the shittiest job just because it was the hardest. It was going to take the longest. Um, but I go there and fucking spend 7 hours on a fucking 28-foot extension ladder working around duct work. But I get the job done in one night. You know, the guys are stoked. They don't have to do it. I earn some respect because it's fucking hard work. You know, my shirt's soaked because it's shitty work all night. Um, boosts morale a lot. Gets me some respect points. Um, and yeah, it's the same deal. It's like, you know, I don't need to come in and boss everyone around, but I'm a fast painter. I know how to work my way around a job site. So put me on something you need to get done and I'll get it done.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely having the respect of whomever you're going to be in charge of is like such a big thing. Such a big thing for company culture. I think that's probably something that a lot of people struggle with when they're not good painters, but they're painting business owners is probably earning respect of people.
Yeah.
Like all of my guys right now know that if I tell them to do something differently, that I'm not just fucking like talking out of nowhere. You know, like I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. I know how to do this thing really well. I know how to explain it really well. Like I know the ins and outs of it. So it's pretty easy for me to get people to buy in when I'm giving feedback. If I didn't know, like if Dane, my estimator, was on a job site trying to give this feedback, like, they'd be like, "Fuck off," you know.
Yeah.
Like when
Exactly.
I brought in a guy that worked for me for a year that was basically like covering operations for the company, and nobody fucking liked him. Nobody would respect him. Nobody would listen to him unless I got involved. You know, it was like we're doing the clocking in and clocking out now, you know, like doing all these professionalized ways of doing business or being employee employer relationship. And everybody hated him. You know, it was just, and it wasn't because he's like a bad person or anything. It's just, who the fuck is this guy coming in giving us orders? You
Yeah.
know? But if I got involved and said, hey, look, this is why he's giving you this order. This is why we need to do it. This is why I need you guys on board. You know, and it's like, all
Yeah.
right, fine, we'll
That,
do it.
but the reason I said it like that is because there's nothing that I could come in to your business for if we were to swap for a month and make anything better. You know what I'm saying? Like your
No, that's
guys.
not true though. That's not true though. So like my operations like on job sites is not very clean at all. And when I say clean, I mean it's not very smooth. It's not very efficient.
Yeah,
It's
but
efficient enough, but it's
but
not, it
I
has a long
couldn't
way to
I
go.
couldn't technically come in. And yes, I could come in and be like, "Hey, this is the deal. Is like I'm fucking here to we're going to get shit cleaned up and we're going to reorganize, we're going to restructure, process and culture and all that." That fucking wouldn't that your guys wouldn't go for that. Like it would have to
Yeah.
be, and like if I were to come in and actually run logistics, like I said, it would probably take me 2 to 3 months to build their trust, and
Yeah.
you would not be allowed to tell them what's happening. I would be in the trenches working with them and playing the politics and building their trust and shit like that, and then you know then you would have to ask them, hey, I was thinking about yada yada, and the question would pop up, but it'd have to happen naturally. Like it wouldn't be able to be a thing from the start. You know what I'm saying?
Well, sure, but I would hire a project manager to do that role. And that's going to be my next big hire as a project manager exactly for that. Um, and I am going to tell them up front, and it is going to be most
Yeah, but
likely somebody that
but
doesn't
the
have painting
thing with a
experience.
project manager, like you were talking about hiring somebody, that you could hire a project manager without field experience. So
Yeah,
like he's just gonna like, hey, do this and that, or help you keep track of jobs, and just increase your efficiency, and help you keep tabs on what's going on. But he's never going to be able to restructure something and increase motivation and build morale and retrain and restructure. You know what I'm saying?
well, he could do all those things mostly on his own. Some of them he would need help. You would just be able to do it with no help. So you can increase morale with bonuses, with parties, with lunches, with buying the team lunches, with running errands for them. Like there's ways to build morale without being on site with them. Your way would be the better way. Your way would
But
be the
can you
best way.
can you really do that though when the guys know in the back of their head that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about?
I think as long as he's being actually valuable to them, then yes. Like um, if I were in that role as like project manager and I were working for this new company, I would want to figure out ways to like reward the team, maybe time off early, maybe a lunch every now and then, maybe whatever. I would want to be helpful to them. So there definitely would be ways. I don't think it's the same for everybody, and I think some crews would not even take to it. But if it's a hot day and I bring the crew like a bunch of Gatorades and waters and an ice chest, like, all right, that's pretty cool. Thank you. Or if I show up at a job at fourth, I know a job is running late and the guys have to stay a little bit later. If I show up at like 4:30 and stay till 6:30, helping them clean up and fucking load up ladders and get trash out of there and all that stuff, like that goes somewhere. It's not nothing. But like I said, your way would be the best way. If you could do it from within, I must have like heard this in church or something like that before, but to lead with from within rather than lead from without, right? Like you want to be kind of in the trenches with them if possible and lead that way.
Yeah.
If you're leading without getting in the trenches at all, it's going to be harder to get buy-in, harder to get people to trust you. Not impossible, but harder to do it that way. So your way would be better. But then if I'm going to hire for that position to get the best possible thing that I can out of it, I got to wait until I find someone like you to grow. How fucking long is that going to take me? If I'm interviewing and putting ads out, how long am I going to have to wait to find this person that can manage my company on the field side of things? It's going to take me forever. Like I've never come across that person so far, and I've been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, am I going to wait another 20? Or am I going to find somebody that's a good manager that
Yeah.
can be really well organized, that is creative and team building in, creating company culture or maintaining culture? That's the person I need because I can get that person next week, or next month. And then I can get more of those people as the company grows.
Yeah, but that person he would always have to be technically subservient to your actual field supervisors. You see what I'm saying?
To some extent, but like to the foreman. But there's a line where it's like, for foreman, if you're not going to respect this person, then you got to go. This person's going to help us build this company. This person is getting more money for you. This person's making your life easier. Like, you don't have to be buddy buddy with this person, but you do have to respect them. They're here to work for you. They're here to work for me. They're here to build the company. Like these are
Yeah.
all things that are going to be benefits to you. Um, and like I said, you don't have to be buddy buddy with them, but use them. They're here to make your life easier, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe I'm just different, but I think that could work if, you already had a decent culture, which it seems like you don't have to
Yeah.
deal with drama and stuff like that, and you keep drama out of the business and stuff. But I
Mm-hmm.
think maybe once the door closes, guys will be like, fuck that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
100 for sure, 100%. But they probably do that about me now,
yeah,
Like it is what it is. Like I don't care about that
it's like,
so much because people are gonna talk. Like my whole crew still acts like high school kids when it comes to rumors and shit like that, right?
yeah,
But it doesn't fucking matter to me. Like I'd tell all of them, like, look, if you hear something, you want the true version, come talk to me. I'm not hiding anything. Like if you have a question about anything, why I did something, why I didn't do something, no problem. Come ask me.
yeah,
Um, I'm never gonna be able to stop the talking and the chatter and all that, you know. And maybe some of them don't. I don't think any of them don't like me. Maybe some of them think I'm a dick, you know.
yeah.
But I don't know. It
You
doesn't
have to
matter
have
to me
some of
that
that there.
much.
So yeah, like loyalty's not directly built out of like respect. Sometimes there has to be a little bit of fear there.
Yeah, I mean, they all know I'm honest and they all know I'm fair. You know, they all know that no matter what, at the end of the day, like if they're doing something that's putting themselves in a good position, I'm not gonna be an asshole for no reason ever. I'm not gonna come down on them for no reason ever. If I do ever come down on someone, it's because they really fucked up.
Yeah. Like, dude, back in the day, like the way I came up, like if you fucked something up or something went wrong, like that shit got taken out of your check, dude.
Yeah, I know. You can't do that anymore. Yeah, you can't do that now.
So I mean, there's an example of fear. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. And I've earned respect wherever I've had a chance to, right? Like I've had my guys' backs on issues with clients. When shit has come up with clients, like my guys know if they're on a difficult project, then they're like, "Hey, can you come over here? This client's like fucking outside all day long watching us, asking us questions." They know I'll come take care of it, because they can't really be like, "Hey, please stop following us around the house." They can't say that to a client, but I can go there and say, "Look, you guys are out here asking my guys questions all day long. They just need to get busy, right? Like, you guys got to give some space. If you have questions, call me. Blow my phone up all day if you want to, but you got to let these guys work. If you have questions and we need to address something, no problem." So they know I'll have the uncomfortable conversations. They know 100% I have their back. They've all seen me have conversations with clients on site, whether it's something we damaged or an issue that came up. Even if it's like a client issue, they know I'm not the type of guy that's just going to back down off of everything. So through all those little things over time, there's like a certain level of respect that they have to give me. But as far as liking me or um, like the day to day little shit talking, if someone's upset about something I did or a conversation I had with them, it is what it is. They're going to talk to people about it and not much I can do about it.
yeah. Well, I'm just like what I was talking about was just figuring out a way to come in to where there's not like this huge mutiny,
Yeah.
like,
That's real. I mean, that's
yeah.
something where, yeah, I mean, you have to be like, for sure. There's other companies around me to where they could all handle a crew or two, you know? So if all
Yeah.
my guys join together and we're like, fuck this, let's all bounce, they could find
Yeah.
jobs pretty quickly, and it'll be like,
Yeah.
oh shit. So you would come over here and like in the first week, you'd be like, John, you're gonna have to come back here. I think you have
Yeah.
no more employees.
I went too far.
Yeah. Nobody's returning calls. Nobody showed up to the job site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy shit his pants.
Oh man. Okay. So next time, well, we'll figure it out. I think we're gonna try and have Sam on again soon. But one that we definitely need to hit on is our sales process, our psychology, how we're writing up our estimates, how we're presenting them, all that stuff. Cool. All right, we're out of here.
See ya.
As always, please like our YouTube page. Give us 5-star only reviews on all podcast platforms. If you have questions or comments, send them over to hello@paintsniffers.com or on Instagram @paint_sniffers.
You can also watch the video version of the podcast on the Alpha Painting YouTube page. Go to playlists and it will be filed under Paint Sniffer Podcast. Via YouTube, you can write into QA@paintsniffer.com.
Thank you for listening to Paint Sniffer Podcast.